Hey, it's Mila. Welcome back to my channel.
I go around and I go around and I go around, I go around. I'm always out, I am always out, I am always out, I'm always out. I keep running so I don't have to go.
So as you can see in the title, today we're going to be doing a little summer glow up, like becoming that girl and stuff like that. It's like clean girl, but like not just aesthetically, but like actually become like the clean that girl and like do a summer glow up while we're at it. I feel like my watch doesn't really match the outfit, so she's going off. But basically, if you're new here, my name's Mila. I make everything from college, lifestyle, and bookish type content. So if that sounds fun, definitely hit the subscribe button so you can join a little family. I am posting like pretty often, like almost every other day. Like obviously now there's not like that much college things going on, but it's mainly like lifestyle one day and then like in the next 2 days it's like a bookish type thing, and it's like alternating. And then around mid-July I'm going to start with like college things, because if you're new here and you don't know this, I'm in a sorority. I'm actually the president, so I wanted to like bring out like videos early on, because I know for some universities like rush starts so much earlier, people start thinking about it so much earlier. So I'm gonna start talking about like sorority type things towards the end of July, so you guys kind of have like a better idea of like what you're going to be going into, or you can know like, okay, this is actually for me. But yeah, basically to say like not much college going on until like school actually starts. But yes, okay, so a little summer glow up. I'm just gonna explain myself here before we get into it. I didn't just want to do a like follow me along and getting my summer glow up, like no, because I really want to talk about like different areas to glow up, you know, because obviously everyone is just like, oh, the physical, working out, eating healthy, taking care of your skin. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot going into aesthetics, but it's also a lot of like internal, like mental work. And I feel like not many people talk about that. So this is literally the ultimate guide to bettering your life and to become that girl. I have my iPad right over here where I wrote basically everything that I wanted to talk about today. Where is it? So yes, we're gonna have 3 categories. So the first one is gonna be mindset and self-development, the next health, and lastly self-care. So as you can see, there's no like explicit title for like aesthetics and like physical things, but everything together basically pieces together the puzzle pieces that leads to when you would vision a like that girl aesthetic board. I'm sorry, I got distracted by text. But yes, like I'm gonna insert one right over here. Like this vision board that you're seeing right now, everything that I'm gonna say here is basically like how to actually get to that. Like not just look like that, but actually embody and be that. So first category, mindset and self-development. We're gonna start this off super easy with start listening to podcasts. Like even if you don't think you're the target audience of this podcast, listen to it. Like there's this podcast I started listening to, the Iced Coffee Hour. The host of it is some guy who did like real estate, who talks about like money and stuff like that. Like I am obviously not the target audience, but I've learned so much from his podcast. And like that's the main one that I got into, which is not what I'm used to listening to. There's one by Kaylin Nicholson Coes that I've been listening to for years. Like those are the main ones that I'm listening to, but I do want to get more into podcasts and not like, yeah, sure, there's like Call Her Daddy that all my friends listen to. Like me personally, if I'm taking the time out of my day to listen to a podcast, I want to get something from it, you know? Like, yeah, sure, interviewing a celebrity. Like when I think Call Her Daddy, I think back to when we were in finals and my friend Julia was just watching the Call Her Daddy podcast with Jojo Siwa. And whenever I think Call Her Daddy and Alex Cooper, I just picture Jojo Siwa with her hat. How did Alex just like look at her and like take her seriously? Like I could not. But yeah, like those type of podcasts, not really for me, because I feel like I'm not like learning something concrete out of it, but more like spiritual podcasts or bettering yourself podcasts. Like I don't really have many on the top of my head, because once again, this is something that I'm like only now getting into, but I'll do a bit of research. I'll link a few down below. But yes, a big thing is podcasts. Like you can listen to them on like your hot girl walks, you know, you can listen to them in the shower, getting like, you can literally listen to them doing anything, like driving and stuff like that. So it's super easy to incorporate. You're gonna feel so much more like productive and like knowledgeable. The next thing in this category is to make a goals list or a bucket list. If you haven't watched my mid-year reset. I'll link it up right over here. But basically in that video, I just create a list of goals and a bucket list for the end of the year of like realistic things that I know it's very possible to achieve. Let me pull up the thing so I can like talk a bit about it. Like, I'm not gonna go through the entire list. I'm just gonna like look at one. Like, for example, one of my goals is to hit the gym 3 times a week. Very, very realistic, you know, because even on my busiest weeks, I can manage to do 3 workouts. You know, like let's say it's a super busy weekday, weekday week, if that makes sense. I can go like a Friday night, a Saturday and Sunday. And then a bucket list. Let's take this one because I find it like really fun. Do a palm or tarot reading because one of my friends' aunts like does these things. So super easy, super possible to do, you know, things like that. Because I feel like it makes you more interesting because you can talk to, like, it sounds weird, but it's like you have concrete things to talk to people about. It's not just like superficial things or it's like social media things. Like, no, like you are working towards things. You can have conversations about these things and people love hearing about you just like living your life. It's so weird, but it's like I love meeting someone and they just tell me about these amazing things that they did and I'm like, you're so inspiring. So that's why I really like did the bucket list, because even if it's mundane things, like one of them is like literally dancing in the rain. It's just, it gives you such like main character energy that you just feel like you're that girl, you know, like put those type of things on your bucket list and on your goals list. Like obviously if you want more information, go check out that video because I'm not gonna like list everything, but yes, a big thing, make a goals list, and on top of that, make a bucket list, because those are actually like more fun and easy things to tick off, you know? Affirmations. I recently started doing affirmations and I just feel so much more secure, like in myself, my self-worth, like the trust that I have that everything that I want is coming. And there's like, I know when you talk about like manifesting, law of attraction, there's like detachment, but literally doing affirmations every single morning, it makes you more secure that you could actually detach. Like you're not thinking about it every single day because you just know that you're attracting it, that it's coming. Like if you're not into spirituality, then maybe this isn't the best thing for you. But honestly, a huge game changer for me, or if you have a little insecurity, try affirmations and, you know, let me know down below if that it helps you. Me, it was mainly like feeling secure that everything that's meant for me is gonna come. And obviously like I know that, but repeating that every single morning right after I meditate, it just makes you feel better. So kind of going along with affirmations, there's gratitude. So I bought myself a gratitude journal at the beginning of the year. I was like, I'm gonna do this every single day. I'm super motivated. That lasted a week. And then I kind of like stopped doing it. But I think like end of May, something big happened in my life. And I just wanted to feel better about myself, you know? So I started like doing my gratitude journal every single day. I like know the dates so well in my head because it was like a really thing day for me. May 22nd. From May 22nd to right now that I'm filming this, June 27th, I have done my gratitude journal every single day. It makes you realize how much you have. And it helps you organize your day to set like 3 goals for the day to actually achieve those goals. And then it also helps you think back, okay, like what are these like small little wins that I have throughout the day, or these small little meaningless things that actually like made my mood so much better. And even if you can't like think of it like one day, you know, okay, like I'm gonna try to do these type of things tomorrow, so I can write them down in my gratitude journal. I've put so many people on it. I've talked to so many people, guys and girls, about this, and they're all like, wow, it's something that I actually really want to start. Guys and girls, and everyone like loves this concept. So honestly, buy yourself a gratitude journal. Even if you don't do it every single day, try to do it every other day, maybe 3 times a week, and you're gonna see like you just feel so much more like at peace, like just happier and at peace, and just like grateful to have the life that you have. Another thing kind of like tying in with affirmations and gratitude is a meditation. Once again, May 22nd, huge thing happened in my life. Yes, I started doing my gratitude journal, but I also started meditating. I now meditate twice a day, 10 minutes in the morning right when I wake up, 10 minutes at night right before I go to bed. It is literally the best thing ever. Like I do talk about this more in that mid-year reset video, But I was like talking to one of my friends about this and telling her like what I've been up to. And when I told her all this, she was like, honestly, like it shows on your face and in your energy that you're so much more at peace. You just look so much happier. And I was like, wow, like I didn't think that it showed, but you really radiate that type of like calm, confident, and just like at peace, happy energy. And even if you don't like realize it, other people see that in you. And having Chris say that to me, I was like, wow, just a wow. But yeah, honestly, meditating is one of the best things ever. Like, I know maybe for some people, not listening to anything, like raw dogging it, absolutely impossible. Trust me, I understand 100%. Try to go with the guided meditations. I will list the 2 that I'm doing right now in the description bar down below. I'm going to change them for the month of July. Like, obviously now I'm filming in June. So I'll put the ones that I'm listening to in June, and then the ones I'm listening to in July. So you guys can get some ideas. I do mine for 10 minutes. If it's your first time doing it, maybe go for 5 minutes, like 5, 8, 10. I do want to try to go up to, I know 30 minutes is not realistic for like every single day. Like for the summer, very possible, but during the school year, not really. But I want to go up to 15 minutes because I feel like that is a good amount of time. Like 10 minutes, I feel like it's more beginner. But my goal is really to like get focused on this like not one thought, but this like one activity of your brain. I don't know if that makes sense, but for 15 minutes. Like my goal for the month of July is to get to 15 minutes. So those are like more mindset things. Something for self-development. Read nonfiction books. I started really getting into nonfiction books. I have a pile right over there. I want to grab them, but it's like too far out of reach. But yeah, so every single morning I read a more productivity nonfiction book. Like I'm currently reading The 48 Laws of Power. I also bought The Psychology of Money, so more like learning about investment and just like how money works and stuff like that. I also have a book about grit, perseverance, and stuff like that. Like those are more in the morning, like get my shit together type books, and at night I read more psychological, or I don't know how you call it, but I'm currently reading actually when this video comes out, I think I would have been finished it, but like now that I'm filming it, I'm currently reading 101 essays that would change the way that you think. And then once I'm done that, I'm going to read The Mountain Is You. Like honestly, reading the 40 Laws of Power is one of my favorite parts of the day. And then reading my 101 essays that would change the way that you think at night, you learn so much. Like if you take podcasts, you take this, and then you incorporate affirmations and meditating and gratitude, you learn so much about the world. You learn so much about the world. You get so many skills to understand yourself. You just, wow, like you literally just become that girl. Another thing I put here is to learn a new language. I'm from Montreal. Like my first language was English. Then I grew up learning French. Like I was in a French school from when I was like 4 until 16. Then I went to like English. So yeah, I'm like perfectly bilingual. Then when I was like 12 up to 17, I took Spanish classes. Like I'm not like fluent in Spanish, but I have a pretty like decent understanding, like I can get by. For me, speaking many languages was super normal because in my high school, like you were forced to take a third language. Being trilingual is very like common, but it was only when I got into university that I was like, it's not as common as you think. Like obviously in Montreal, in Quebec, like a lot of people in Canada know English and French, but like learning other types of languages, like I'm currently on Duolingo. I'm trying to learn Italian and Greek because I'm manifesting a trip to either Greece or to Italy. Italian, it's kind of easier to learn because I see like resemblances. I don't know if that's like French, but you see similarities between like French and Italian, or like Spanish and Italian, so it's easier to learn. Greek, so different. Like I do know the Greek letters and how you pronounce them because of the sorority and also because of my classes, because I am like an engineering major. Like I know the entire Greek alphabet. So Greek, like it does take more brain power. I'm sure like if you don't really do like intense math, or you're not in Greek life, you don't know these letters, you don't know how to pronounce them, it's gonna be like very hard. But yeah, honestly, like learning Greek mainly is like such a challenge, but I love it. It just makes me feel like that girl, you know? Like, I can speak, like, my goal is to, like, be able to speak 5 languages by the time I'm, like, 30. Be, like, fluent in 5 languages. I'm currently 23, which I feel like it's very possible. And it's like, how many people do you know who speak more than 2 languages? Probably not that many people. So yes, becoming that girl means being able to communicate in different languages, because if you want to travel, you need to know how to talk. This one, I feel like it's not something that I've been doing, but it's something that I want to get into, because I'm like, you are getting older. I mean, like, I'm not like that old, but I'm like, you are getting older. Like, it's good to know about these things. Be more informed of like what's going on in the world. This is something weird about me, but it's like, you know, when people ask, oh, if you could go back at any time in history, like, where would you go? Me, one of the places I would, I mean, honestly, like ancient Greece, ancient Rome, 100%, because there's just something about those times that I absolutely like love learning about. But also the Cold War. Let me explain. So I'm an engineering student, as I mentioned, and I'm like super fascinated with like planes and stuff like that. Like, that's the field that I want to go into. And I was watching a bunch of documentaries on like military planes, like spy planes from the Cold War. And I'm like, I would have loved to be an American man, like an American male engineer working on these planes in the Cold War. Like, that would be so cool. Like, there's this one plane, like, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but there's this one plane that I find absolutely fascinating. I don't know how to explain how fast it goes, but it goes very fast and very high. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get too much into it. But yeah, I was watching that video, and then I started watching things on YouTube that was kind of like how the Cold War shaped the whole like Russia-Ukraine thing, because no one talks about it anymore. But I watched that video. It was like 45 minutes, and it was like talking about the future of like Europe if this scenario happens, if that scenario happens. And then it got to talk about NATO and how the US is like doing things now to prepare for that. And it's just like learning about that, I was like, wow, I'm so like ignorant to what's going on in the world. So there was that I got into. I found this like software AI engineering like newsletter that I subscribe to. I have not read those articles yet because they send me like 10 per day. But, you know, just like trying to get more informed with what's going on, because if you're in your 20s, I feel like it's about time that you do learn what's going on, because obviously like you need to know. But yeah, that girl, she's able to talk. Like, she's knowledgeable with what's going on in the world. She's knowledgeable about important things. Like, she needs to be able to have these type of conversations with people. And the last thing I put in this like mindset self-development category is a social media detox, and just to be present. You're gonna find this like super ironic, but I'm not someone who's on social media a lot. Yes, I do post a decent amount, but I literally open Insta, take my picture, post it. If my friend's picture pops up, I like it. If my friend's story is there, I look at it. But I don't spend time on social media. I just post, get off it. I love all of my friends, but I see some of my friends who are so glued to TikTok or to Instagram, and I'm like, breaks my heart, because it's like, if you were present, you'd be like, because when you're present, you experience so much more life. Like, it sounds so cheesy, but as someone who literally like doesn't really go on social media except to post things, I feel like you have so much more free time. You are so much more mindful of how you spend your time. You achieve so much more, and you appreciate the beauty in life. Picture like a sunrise or a sunset. If you're so focused on your phone, like taking the perfect video, or at a concert taking the perfect video, you're gonna miss out on the real life experience. Again, sunsets. When you take a picture, the picture doesn't do the moments justice, but if you're present, you can admire the beauty of the sunset. On your phone, you have to play around editing to get like maybe 80% of the magnificent of the beauty of the beauty of the sunset or the sunrise. And it's like, that just shows you how much you miss out being glued to your phone all the time. So just like be mindful of your screen time. Like, for me, again, it's something that I've always been like super against, like just being on my phone all the time. For me, it was like super easy to become more present. But if you realize that this is something that you do want to like limit, try like blocking apps for certain hours. Like, I know these things are possible for Instagram and TikTok, especially TikTok. Because I feel like TikTok, you just get sucked in. Like me, my social media that I get sucked in is YouTube, but I learn from YouTube. TikTok, it's more like, I don't want to say mindless things, but it's like, it's so much easier to get lost in like mind-numbing things on TikTok and Instagram than in YouTube. And I know YouTube is something that I spend so much time on, so I limit myself. Like if I'm walking on my walking pad, I'm like, okay, I can watch YouTube while I'm doing that, but then when I'm done, no more YouTube. And again, it makes me be so much more present, so mindful, admire beauty, like actually look outside my window and look at nature, look at this clouds, the sky changing and stuff like that. Like being present kind of like ties in with like meditation, gratitude, affirmations. Like all of this is linked together, and it's the whole mindset that has to change to really see the benefits of all these things that you're trying to do. I hope that makes sense. I really, really hope that makes sense. But yeah, those are all my little talking points for mindset and self-development. So let's move on to health. It's summer. I know we go out more, we wake up late, we don't really think about what we eat, but please fix your diet. Like even if you cannot have breakfast, at least when you eat lunch and dinner, eat like good meals, you know? Like girl dinners are a big no-no. Like I'm not gonna lie, occasionally, like once a month, there's a little girl dinner, you know? Like if I'm with my friends, we're not like super hungry, we just get a bunch of little things and have a girl dinner. I'm guilty of that, but it's not a weekly thing. It's not my go-to meal, you know? Like I have a proper lunch, I have a proper dinner, I have like protein, vegetables, carbs. Like I eat so I have energy to do things with my body. Don't starve yourself. Don't think, oh, I'm gonna be wearing like a bathing suit so I can't be like bloated. Like no, please eat. One big thing that I regretted is that I was going to this event at night and I was like, I cannot eat because I'm wearing something tight and I cannot be bloated. I literally so I ate basically nothing for the entire day. I ate a little something around like 5, the event started at 9. I had 3 drinks that night. Normally 3 drinks for me doesn't do that much, but I had 3 drinks and I just felt so gross and groggy, and and like I remember watching a video about this. When you actually eat something before drinking, like over 8 hours, like the alcohol content reaches its peak, then it dips pretty fast. If you don't eat, it just like goes higher and higher and higher as time progresses. And like let's say like 1 drink, I'm like throwing numbers here, 1 drink, it takes like an hour for you to stop feeling it. If you don't eat anything, 1 drink, it's gonna take 2 hours for you to stop feeling it. And then if you pile on drinks, it's in your system for longer and longer and longer. Normally 3 drinks for me, that's nothing. But I remember that night at 2, I felt so sick. I was like, I need to leave because I'm gonna throw up, just because I did not eat that entire day. Because I was like thinking, oh, I want to look good for this event. No, like eat your food. Don't do girl dinners because you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna look so much better because your body needs nutrients to actually fuel you. Like obviously, if you're not eating properly, you're gonna lose a lot of weight. And yeah, you might be happy, but then when you actually start eating again, you're not gonna be able to maintain the weights, you know? And like you obviously, yeah, you can lose weight, but your muscles, like your poor muscles, like your muscles need protein, your body needs nutrients, like you need carbs for energy. So please fix your diet, eat, even if you can't eat like 3 meals, have like 5 small meals, you know? Just find something that works for you, but actually eat actual food and good food, because trust me, your body's gonna thank you, and you're gonna be able to accomplish so much more during the day because you actually have the energy to accomplish all these things. Also, going in with like diet, drink water. Guys, it's summer, it's hot, we get sweaty, the sun is like blaring down on us 24/7. We need to stay hydrated. Don't wake up and go for your coffee. Absolutely not. Drink a glass of water, then go for your coffee. And also kind of like tying in with this, try to get away from coffee. Like I am a religious coffee drinker. During the school year, I have a coffee every single day. The baristas know me. Like I'm always there at 10 a.m. getting my like if I have an 8:45 class, I'm always there at 10 a.m. every single time I have that class. If I have a class at 10, I'm always there at 11:30. Like I'm like, they know me because I'm always there at the same time. I don't go for sugary coffee, so I was like justifying it to myself. I'm like, if I just get a plain oat latte, unsweetened, it's fine, it's healthy. Like obviously 1 coffee day, it's not bad, but for the summer, I really wanted to try to limit my coffee intake and just like not become dependent on it. And I feel so good. Like I feel so much more energized. I wake up feeling great. There's no like caffeine withdrawal. Like I don't think I was drinking enough like last semester to actually feel the withdrawal, but I'm not dependent on coffee anymore. Like, yeah, sure, I have a matcha from time to time, and it's like refreshing. Coffee isn't necessarily refreshing, you know? So yeah, try to avoid caffeine. Like, go for matcha, or go for like iced teas, iced herbal teas, iced like fruity teas. Like, if you want something refreshing that has a little bit of caffeine, iced teas are perfect. But yes, drink your water. Like, this bottle, it's 70 milliliters. I'm Canadian, so I use milliliters. I do not know what that is in other like units, but I drink minimum 3 of these per day. So that's like 2 liters of water. That's minimum 2 liters of water every single day. My skin has been getting better. I just feel so much better. This is like TMI, but my gut health has been so much better. I just feel so good. My lips are not chapped. I feel like my hair has been doing better. Like, do not underestimate the power of water. Another thing that's super, super important, move your body daily. I bought myself a walking pad recently. Best damn purchase I ever made. I'm gonna link mine down below so you guys can go check it out. It's almost Prime Day, so you can probably find them for cheaper. Mine was $400, but it's so tiny. It's the perfect size. Like, it's not the ones that you have to fold. It's super tiny. It fits right under my desk, and there's room to actually take it out. I'm gonna probably link a few that are on sale because you can kind of see which ones are on sale. I'll try to find some that are less than $200 because I know my friends are also interested in walking pads. So I'm like on the hunt for walking pads for them. So like might as well put them over here for you guys. But yes, I bought myself a walking pad. I walk for 1 to 2 hours every day, minimum 3 kilometers every day. I've been doing it for maybe like 3 weeks. I can see a difference in my legs. Like, there's a physical difference in my legs. They look slimmer. They feel more toned. When you finally see that difference, you're like, wow. And also, like, doing these 3 kilometers 2 weeks ago, it took me more time than it does now. I'm so proud of myself. I change speeds. I make it harder for myself. Sure, I love the gym, but having the walking pad, I can watch my YouTube, I can edit my videos, I can read my book while doing this exercise. And like, yeah, sure, it's not like exercise, but if you do this every single day for an hour, that's gonna do more for you than if you go to the gym like once a month. Yes, they are expensive, but buy yourself a walking pad. I swear to God, it's the best purchase you're ever gonna make, and you're actually gonna see a difference in your body if you use it on a daily basis. The last thing in the health category is to sleep. So again, summer, we go out, we have plans, we don't really focus on sleep, or if we focus on sleep, we wake up at like 2 p.m. Most people, their productive times are in the morning. And if you're doing a meditation or like affirmations and stuff like that, doing it at 2 p.m. versus at, let's be reasonable, 10 a.m., there's a huge difference in where your brain is, even if you just woke up. Like, I noticed, me personally, when I did my waking up at 5 a.m. challenge, if you want to go watch that, I'll link it up above here. When I did that, I realized meditating at 5:30 a.m. brought me so much more than now when I do it around 8. Waking up at an earlier time does something for you, even if you can accomplish the same amount of things, when honestly chances are you probably cannot accomplish the same amount of things. Or it's like, if you have a list of like 5 goals, yeah, you can accomplish those if you wake up at 2, but if you wake up at 8 or be crazy like 5, you can accomplish so much more. Like, during that challenge, I was doing my meditation, my gratitude journal, my affirmations. I was reading my nonfiction book. I was reading my fiction book. I was editing a video, doing my walking pad workout, all that before 11. And I'm like, wow. So try to like find a reasonable sleep schedule that works for you, that gives you time in the morning, because waking up in the morning before 10 just does something to you, makes you actually want to do things. And I know like people are like, oh my God, it's so hard because I have to go to bed like super early. It is a sacrifice you have to make. Trust me, try waking up at 5 a.m. for a week and it's going to be absolute hell, but it's going to like change something in your brain. I don't want to sound cheesy, but it's going to change your life. And also, like, when you picture that girl, she has her life together. She works out. She does all these things before like 10 a.m. Yes, it's tough, but try to wake up at 5 a.m. for a week and that will help you like embrace the aesthetic of that girl. Okay, so those were like mindset, self-development, and health. Now I'm gonna go into the self-care things. Journaling. Oh my God, journaling. It has changed my life. It has changed my friend's life. You can actually reflect on what you went through, see what there is to learn from that. Because like everything that happens, like nothing happens to you, things happen for you. Everything is an experience where you can grow, where you can learn things. Like everything that's in your life right now is to teach you something about yourself. And when you journal, you like first kind of like spit out what's on your mind. And then looking back, you can really see where the lessons are. Even if you can't see now, come back in like a year. You're going to be like, oh my God, this taught me that. And it was such a big thing in my head at the time. But it had to happen to learn this, you know? And it's only when you journal that you really realize that. And it's like if you're going through something tough, getting it out of your system, oh my God, it helps so much. If you're not comfortable talking with someone, write it out or record a voice audio. Like journaling doesn't have to be just writing down. You can turn on a camera and film a video. You can record a voice note. I do it weekly because daily it's not possible for me. Record your weekly, monthly, daily thoughts, emotions, what's going on. One, you learn so much more about yourself. Two, you're more in tune with you and how you react. And three, things won't affect you as much. We always see like that girl, she like journals and stuff like that. It might be annoying at first, but trust me, it will change your life. This is the main like aesthetic thing when you think about like that girl and like glow up. Get a skincare routine. I had my struggles with my skin, right? I tested out a bunch of products and then through trial and error, I found out what worked for me. I don't know when that video comes out. I think it comes out after this one. I'm posting a video with my like summer skincare and makeup routine and I keep it simple. Like, yeah, I do have Target products, but there's some things that my friends use that they swear by, but it's not for me. It doesn't help my skin. It sucks, but go through trial and error, talk to a dermatologist, like learn about how your skin is, what your skin needs, and build a routine that will target what's going on with your skin. Yes, it is a challenge. It's an emotional process because when you try so hard, you spend so much money and you're not seeing progress, it literally tears you apart because you're like, what am I doing wrong? But finding a good skincare routine, finding products that work for you, that doesn't mean the most expensive products. Because yes, when you think like that girl, she has all these like name brands, it doesn't have to be, you know? Like I use Drunk Elephant for some things, but the other times I use drugstore brands and they work just as well or even better, you know? Like don't really think about like, oh my God, like these girls who are making like that girl videos, they have like these brands, I need these brands. No, find what works for you, use what works for you, and it's gonna benefit your skin so much more than just like splurging on these products just because like someone who you idealize like uses them. And like I'm saying this because like just because I use certain products that might be more expensive, I don't want you guys to be like, okay, Mila uses these, I'm gonna go buy them. No, these are things that worked for me personally. If you want to invest in them, do it, but don't go into it with the intention that since Mila's using it and it helped her, she says it helped her, it's gonna help me. Trial and error, go for like cheaper things, and if you want to splurge on more expensive things, go for that. But again, like don't think like that girl brands, think like what actually works for me. The last little thing I have over here is to spend time alone. Oh my God, you learn so much spending time alone with yourself. The most profound growing that I did was when I took a step back from my friends and really focused inwards, looked at what's important to me, what I want, what are my goals. When you have that, you can like go back into the world and you're not going to take anyone's bullshit. You're going to be able to set boundaries so much easier. You have your standards, and this isn't just for like relationships, it's for like friends also. Like when you know what's important to you, when you have your standards, when you are able to put yourself first and not really care about what other people think or say, your life changes. This is kind of like the main character energy. When you stop caring because you know what is authentically you and what makes you happy, what is important to you, you have such a main character energy. I just want to like talk about my experience with this. Whenever I'm going through a tough time, I really take a step back, refocus within, and I come back when I'm ready, right? And so many people have told me, like, you have such like main character energy, or you're so inspiring, or it's like before I even knew you, like when I saw you, I was like, just wow, she's like literally the main character in her life. Like, my friend's boyfriend told her, like, the first time I met Mila, I was like, wow, what is this like main character energy? I don't care what people think, what people say. If I want to do something because it's authentic to me, I'm gonna do it. And yeah, sure, some people might think it's weird, you know, like I'm sure there's people who I know in my personal life who are like, why is she filming herself talking to a camera? It's freaking weird. Like, no one watches it. Like, what is she doing? She's wasting her time. But other people are like, oh my gosh, she's so inspiring. Like, she makes me want to make YouTube videos or be more active on my social media or just embrace these things about me. Like, there's obviously these two different sides, but when you're okay because you know what's important to you, what you actually want, and you don't really care what other people have to say, like, yeah, sure, I'm not saying it's gonna hurt when someone criticizes you or stuff like that. It's gonna freaking hurt, but you don't say things personally because you spend time alone and you know what is authentically you. And honestly, there's nothing more that girl or main character than just doing what you want for the experience that it brings you and just being present in this moment, doing what's authentically you right now. So that's all for like self-care. I do want to touch on a little more like aesthetic, superficial things because I feel like it needs to be said. Summer glow up. So obviously summer sun. Please use sunscreen. Like, one of the best compliments someone ever gave me was, you look like you wear sunscreen every single day. It was so out of nowhere. I was not, like, we were having lunch. I don't know what I was telling this person, but she was like, you look like you wear sunscreen every single day. And I was like, is that a, like, I didn't know how to take that. And she was like, no, like, it's a really good thing. Like, it's a really good thing. Like, take it as a compliment. Wear sunscreen every single day. Like, now so many people are so, like, focused on, I don't want to age. Like, I feel like I have not gotten trapped in that loop, but we see these kids who are like 12 worried about aging, and I'm like, girl, you haven't even gone through puberty yet, you know? But it's like, we're so focused on aging like properly and getting like cosmetic procedures, but it's like, literally just put on sunscreen. You're gonna see people in 10 years having these spots, like having these sunspots. Like, I'm sure you've seen pictures online, all this sun damage on their face, and it's like, just use sunscreen. It's not that complicated. Like, use a tinted sunscreen. That's what I use. I don't have it with me, but I use the tinted sunscreen from Drunk Elephant and I love it. It blends into my skin so well. It's as if I have like a BB cream on. It's like basically makeup, but it's sunscreen. So yeah, if you're going out every single day, or if you're going tanning, please use sunscreen. Even if you do not burn, you still get this sun damage. And like, I hate whenever my friends are like, oh, I don't use sunscreen, because like, I don't want to be annoying and have this conversation with them every single time. But if you're watching this video, please buy a sunscreen. Like, it's the best thing you can do for your skin. And honestly, if I see someone applying sunscreen outside, I'm like, I know we can be amazing friends literally just because you use sunscreen. And also, going with like tanning and stuff like that, invest in a self tanner. Like, there's no need to stay outside for days on end in the sun just to get a tan. Use a fake tanner. It's so much better for you. It's so much faster. You're not like, you don't feel icky and gross. You instantly feel better, and you don't have to stay outside in the sun. Like, obviously I'm not saying like don't get sun, because obviously the sun is good for you. I am saying be more like mindful in how much you spend in the sun. Like, I go outside for an hour every single day to read, but I'm not like tanning. Like, yeah, I'll wear my bathing suit, I'll tan sometimes, but it's like once a month. My tan comes from a fake tanner. It's so much better for you, and again, it's so much faster. You can actually control the color. So those are my like main two like aesthetic like glow up tips. Everything else was more like making yourself like glowing up as a person, you know, like not very physical, but just glowing up as a person, like becoming someone who you want to meet, who you want to be friends with, who you want to like start a relationship with. I remember hearing this from someone. It's like, be the person who you want to attract, you know? If you want friends who are interesting, who bring you up, who teach you things, you need to be that type of person also. Because yeah, you can find these type of friends, but you're not gonna attract that type of person if you're on the complete opposite side of the spectrum. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was a long one. I feel like I've been filming for so long, but I wanted to put this out there because I feel like a summer glow up, yes, there is some physical aspect to it, but a lot is mental and internal, and I wanted to touch on it because I feel like not many people touch on it. I think only one person, I honestly don't remember this creator's name. If I remember, I can put her video down below, but I was going through videos and then I saw hers and I was like, oh, it's gonna be like another more superficial, like getting my nails done, tanning, cutting my hair. But then I watched a video and she actually like talked, not just like do this, be like go within. And I was like, oh my god, like we need more videos like this out there. So I just wanted to do my own take on this. Once again, if I can find her video, I'll leave it down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a long one, so I hope you grab a glass of water or matcha while you were watching this. If you liked today's video, definitely leave a thumbs up and subscribe so you're updated whenever I post again. I do kind of want to get more into these like self-improvements, self-bettering videos. I don't know if I want to do more podcast style. Like, we'll see, because I feel like I could turn this into like a podcast series and then put it on Spotify so it's easier for you guys to listen to. Like, you don't just have to watch like the YouTube video. But then also, if I do that, I do want like the gear and then like specific filming spots. So I don't know how it's gonna go. It's something that I have been thinking about. Like, I had a conversation with someone like 2 months ago. He has his own podcast and he was like, you know, maybe try getting into this because it's gonna be easier for you to like film, because you don't like really have to film the visual, it's just the audio. But then I was like, yeah, but I would still post it on my YouTube channel. But you know, I was like talking with him about it and I was like, you know what, it could be like very interesting to start. And my friends have mics that they're not using anymore from like when they wanted to start a podcast but they didn't start it. So honestly, I think I'm really just like thinking of a podcast name. Like, I've been thinking about a podcast name recently. So I don't know, am I gonna start a podcast? Who knows? I feel like everyone these days is starting a podcast. But if you have a YouTube channel, I feel like it's less like, oh, I'm like following the herd. But yeah, let me know if you'd be interested in like more podcasty type episodes like this, when we just talk about self-improvement and stuff like that, or maybe spiritual, like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna stop rambling because this video has been like already long enough. So all my socials I link down below if you want to go check me out. My TikTok, Instagram, and Goodreads. On my Instagram, I post a lot about what I read. So if you're into bookish type content and you don't want to wait until the end of the month for a wrap up, definitely go follow me over there. I literally post every single book that I read. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it for me today. So stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.